here we will be discussing what is cloud watch service, what are cloud watch alarm, what is simple notification service. All these things we are going to discuss. Now, first of all, what is cloud watch? Now, please remember whenever we are creating any resources, whether it is EC2, RDS, or load balancer or auto scaling, we need to monitor the resources. If you are not going to properly monitor the resources, then lot of issues will be there. Like once you have launched the server, web server is there, but you are finding that the response time is getting slow and slow. So what you need to do, you need to observe what is happening, what is the CPU usage, what is the memory usage, whether there is some issue with the networking or not. So all these things, what we have to do, we have to use one cloud watch service. That means AWS people, what they have done, they have created one service. The name of that service is Cloud Watch. What is the purpose of Cloud Watch? Cloud Watch monitors AWS application and resources in real time, and you can monitor CPU, network, disk input output utilization also. Suppose if you are performing certain writing operation and that is slow, so you have to check the disk input output utilization, whether the bottleneck is there or not. So whenever we are talking about any application, it could be issue with the resources like CPU or memory, it could be networking issue, or it could be due to the not proper storage configuration. This could be the issue. So all these details, they are available if you are going to use the CloudWatch service. So, but for getting these information about CPU, network, and disk input output utilization, we have to enable CloudWatch. So we will see how to enable that thing. And then what we can do, we can set alarm also. That means, like in our case, we will be doing one experiment in which we will be launching EC2 instance, and then we will be creating one alarm there. That means if the usage is more than 25% or CPU utilization 30%, then please send one message or email to us. We can configure. That means that we are going to set the alarm. You can view the logs, you can take the action, troubleshoot. That means lot of thing you can do by using the CloudWatch. And in our case, this is going to be our lab setup. In our case, what we will be doing, we will be launching one EC2 instance. And in that EC2 instance, what we are going to do, we are going to enable detail monitoring. Then what will have be happening? We will also configure one alarm. That alarm is going to tell okay, how much after, whether if the memory usage is more than this, then please send us some message, or make us any type of thing. We are going to set that as a alarm. Then we have to set a alarm in such a way, we have to use one another service that is called simple notification service. Mean, if you want to configure that email should be sent, SMS should be sent, or some phone calls should be made, that have to be configured by using the SNS. But in our case, when we are going to create the lab, we will configure the lab in such a way that if the resource usage is above certain threshold, it should send us a mail. So that will be our lab setup. So these are the steps that we are going to create. First, we will be creating one SNS topic. We will discuss what is exactly this SN topic and subscribe mechanism is there. Then we will create one EC2 instance from custom AMI. So in my case, I have already got one AMI is there in which already stress tool is installed. In auto scaling, we created one custom AMI. Also, we will be using that AMI here. And please, why we are going to create EC2 instance from that AMI? Because we need stress tool there. So I will be using that, and we are going to enable detail monitoring there. Then create CloudWatch alarm. Then we will put load on our EC2 install by using stress tool, and then we will observe whether we have received the mail or not. That we are going to do. Now, first, let us go to the create SNS topic, and we will discuss what is a topic, what is the meaning of subscribe mechanism. Generally, we use these subscribe and publish mechanism in IRT also. So let me first go to the And please remember, again, I'm using the Singapore region. Hopefully today there is not going to be any issue with that. So first of all, I'm choosing SNS, simple notification service. And please do not confuse it with SQS. Sometimes both name sound like same, but that is a different service. That is queue service. But what is this? It is used for publishing and subscribing mechanism. So what is it is saying? Pub subscribe messaging for microservices and serverless application. Now please remember what is exactly the purpose. Now sometimes suppose some service like EC2 or CloudWatch, they want to send the information to many people or many services. So one thing is we have to make the connection with this EC2 with suppose they want to send certain information to RDS, or they want to send certain information to auto scaling or to load balancer. One thing is we are going to send the we are going to make one dedicated pipeline that this EC2 is going to send the message to RDS or auto scaling, or that is not the recommended method. So what we do by using this simple notification service, that EC2 is going to send the message to this SNS service. For that, what we do, we will configure one topic. That means it will send the message to that topic. Now, whichever service or whichever person is going to subscribe to that topic, what will happen? That message will be received by that service or that person. So that is the mechanism. In IoT devices also this happen. Some devices publish some information, and that information can be used by analytics, that type of things, by subscribing. So same way, this is very useful services which is used by a lot of people for making critical applications. So that is always one critical part. So in our case, let us create one application topic. I'm just going to name the topic as load exceeded. You can keep any topic name, because in our case, what we are going to do, we are going to put our load on EC2 server. And when load is going to exceed some threshold, so we will say send some message. So we are naming the topic according to that. You can keep any name. I'm going to say next. So two type of mechanisms are available. FIFO, first in, first out, strictly preserve messaging order, exactly once message delivery. But the recommended practice is use the standard. What it does, best effort messaging order, at least one message delivery. That means if some service, in our case, CloudWatch service, it is going to generate some message. We want that at least one message delivery should be there. And what is the other advantage of using this standard? Is that highest threshold throughput and subscription protocol, SQS, Lambda. Lambda is basically serverless computing, HTTP, SMS, email. So in our case, because we want to use email notification, so we will be using standard. If you want to use another type of service, SQS, then so mostly we use the standard, which give you lot of choices. So here, this is the topic. Any detail you can specify. What is the meaning of this topic? So you can add one descript load exceed notification. Any description. Because please remember one thing, in our case we are creating one service and then we are deleting the service. But in real life, what happens, you might be running hundreds of different resources. So if you are going to give the proper explanation, then it is always better. So we are saying that we are using it for load exceed notification. So rest nothing, just create topic. Again, lot of options are there. That means we have created the topic. Later on, we have to tell the cloud voice to publish to this topic. Now, once we have, we need to subscribe to it also. That means somebody, where in our case, we want the notification to be sent to us. So we will say create, like we subscribe the channels, YouTube channel. Then what happen? whenever they publish any new video, that notification is with us. So here it is showing which topic you want to subscribe. In here we have just one topic is there. In your case, or when you're using lot of services, there could be a lot of topics that might you have created. So here we are just this the topic and which protocol. And please look at the services it is providing. SQS is there. Lambda is serverless function. That means you do not need uh, EC2 type of instances. Sometimes when we have to just run some Python code, what we do, generally we create EC2 instance, then install Python, then we will run that code, and then we will terminate. But in serverless, what you can do, no need for server. Just the time it will just execute the code, and it will charge only for the, if for running the code it just took 5 seconds, it will charge only for the 5 seconds. But here we will be using the protocol email, but let me show SMS also first. So from where we are going to get the message, I'm just taking one case study. Once I was attending that one conference where one NDTV that administrator was there. There all those resources whatever they are managing, they are using AWS for their whole I mean infrastructure. So what happens when some news is there, some critical news is there, some viral news is there, what happens, whatever server they have deployed, at that time they need more servers. So their admin, what that admin is getting, if their load is exceeding certain threshold, that admin was getting the message on their phone that now this service server's load has exceeded, and what action you want to perform, that type of thing. That means if you are traveling as a admin, so you are getting real time messages about the services that you are running. So how that might have been configured, that SMS type of add phone number. So here you are going to add your phone number, then select the language. Then what will be? You will be getting one SMS message to verify whether this phone belongs to you or not. Then only it will add your phone. But in our case, we do not want. So I am just going to cancel it. That means you can configure SMS also. But in my case, I am just going to use email notification. Now here what I have to do? I have to put my email address. So in my case, I'm just going to put my another email address that I'm having. In your case, if you are ever going to connect with me, please do not use this email address. This is for some other purpose. That means I'm going to say that I want to use for subscription mechanism. I want to use email, and I want to use this email. And then what I am going to say, create subscription. So we have chosen this topic, create subscription. Now, if I am going to click on the subscription, let me go to there. Subscription is there. Now, what it is showing? Pending information. Sometimes what might happen? I might have given your email address. Now, what will happen if a lot of notifications are there? So, AWS people, they are not going to send the notification to that email address until and unless you are going to confirm. So in my case, I have to log in into this account, and then one email will be there. Now what it is showing? Status, it is showing pending status. So what I have to do? I have to open my email address, and then one message will be there. I have to click on that message. Once I am going to click that message, then that confirmation will be there. So in my case, let me open my email address. Now, what it is showing? AWS notification. So it is showing that some message has come, confirm subscription. What is it is saying? Subscription confirm. That means normally also when we try to use certain services, certain email is there. So only that service get activated when we have confirmed the mail. So here also they confirm the mail. Then what happens? Let us check. So I will refresh this. Now what it is saying, that means this has been confirmed that our email is okay. That means we have created the topic and we have subscribed the topic, and in subscription we use the email. Now what we have to do, we have to create one EC2 instance and we have to enable the detail monitoring. Otherwise it is not going to capture how much cpu usage is there, that type of user. Now we know how to create this ec2 instance. So in my case, quickly I'm going to create the ec2. I can create, it is not necessary that if in your case if you do not have the custom ami, then what you can do, you can install one ec2 instance, and in that you can just run the command yum install stress, that is going to install that you can say that tool, and then you can put the load. So in my case, I'm just going to, that means first topic we have covered. The second is create ec2 instance. Then let us go there. I will go there. I will choose the ec2 service. So I will open another window. So 0 instances are running. So I will click on this. So I'm going to say launch instances. So I'm going to say web server. That means a lot of steps are involved for this experiment. Server, and I'm going to choose my AMI. And which AMI? Because for auto scaling, the AMI that I created, I have already deleted. In my case, earlier one AMI was there in which this stress tool is there. So I'm going to choose this T2 micro. I will again be choosing that because I have to put one load of. So in my case, I will be choosing T3 micro, because in my case I will be putting one CPU load. So in I want to choose one instance type which is having 2 vCPU. So I'm choosing this. So again it will come under paid. So it will not be free tier. So key in my case, because today I'm using Singapore region. So this is the key. Then network settings. Let me go to network setting. I'm going to choose preference 1A. Enable security group. I will be using the existing security group. Again, although in this we just need SSSH, even we do not need web type of SS, that type of thing, but still I am enabling this type of thing. So it is okay. Advanced detail, nothing is required because in this AMI everything is there. So what we will do, we will launch the instance. So that means in this step what we have done, we have just created one EC2 instance from the custom AMI, but we have not enabled the detail monitoring, and we will see how to enable that detail monitoring. So I will go again there. So in this, basically, we are trying to learn about two services. One is a simple notification service, and second is we want to learn about CloudWatch. So for that, we have to create some resources and put some load there so that it is the load is going to exceed. And then for receiving the message, we will be using the email. So currently it is initializing. So I will select this. So actions. Now it is showing a lot of options. So here monitoring and troubleshooting. So we will click on this. So what it is showing, manage detail monitoring and manage CloudWatch alarm also. First we have to enable. We will say manage detail monitoring. Now what it is saying, after you enable detail monitoring for instance, monitoring data is available in 1 minute period. And please remember, even if you have not enabled that detail monitoring, Simple monitoring is always available, but that simple monitoring, what it does, it check the resource uses after 5 minutes. So sometimes 5 minutes could be a very large time. That means if we want a very dynamic nature of our application, we want to reduce this time. So we have to enable. And please remember, when you are enabling detail monitoring, additional charges are there. So in detail monitoring, what happens? Every minute, it is going to extract the data. This minute, how much CPU user, how much RAM, what is the your disk uses this time, that type of thing. It is going to configure every minute. So 1 minute. So additional charges will be there. So we want to confirm. Now what it will do? It will enable detail monitoring. That means every minute it is going to get the information from that service CloudWatch, what is happening, what is the resource uses, that type of thing. But now we want to take certain action also. In real life, what will happen? In this web server, some application will be running. The moment we are going to make this application public, traffic will start coming. If our application is getting very popular, the load is going to be automatically. But in here case, nobody know about our application. So that is why we are using the stress tool for putting the load. In real life, you do not need to use the stress tool. Automatically traffic will generate the load, whatever traffic will be coming. So here we have configured detail monitoring. Now what we need to do? We need to create the alarm. So I will go into manage CloudWatch alarms. So we are going to say create an alarm, or if you have created one alarm earlier, you can edit that alarm. And alarm notification, please. To which topic? So whenever some incident, some threshold is going to cross, this alarm will send that message to that topic. Like if I have got the YouTube channel, now suppose 4,000 subscribers are there. Out of 4,000 subscriber, if 1,000 subscriber they have enabled the notifications, then what will happen? When I am going to post new video, what will happen? Automatically that notification will be sent to those 1,000 subscribers. Same way, we are going to send that notification to this topic. So whoever has subscribed to that topic, that will get the message. In our case, only email vipin.gupta@linuxexpert.in. In that email, we have subscribed. So the message, whatever is there, it will be sent there. So we are going to choose here. So we are going to say alarm threshold. Which factor you want to do? Average. Lot of section are disk read, write, network in, network out. Lot of options are there, but we will keep the thing. We will CPU utilization. Raise the alarm when greater than equal to, I'm just 25%. Although if your EC2 instance is running at 25%, it should be at least 65-70%, because if we are going to send the alarm at 25%, this we are underutilizing. But here for experimental purpose, we are keeping it 25. But in production system or that type of thing, you will keep the this alarm threshold at a value up to which your EC2 instance is stable. 60-70% you can normally use. And for how much consecutive period? One. And if the load, sometimes what happen, if in a moment, if 5,000 users are coming, then next minute not that much users are there. uh, so it is recommended that you should give a period, continuously period. That means if for 5 minutes the load is 25%, then only trigger the alarm. It depends upon the situation. So this is the normally recommended thing. You can increase or decrease according to you. alarm name, and then what we are going to do, we are going to create the alarm. So let us see what we have done till now. So we created the topic, then created the we created the that CloudWatch alarm also. Now we will go to that CloudWatch and then we will test using the stress tool. So in our case, let us go to CloudWatch. So in my case, I will search for the service. So in CloudWatch, let us check what the alarms are there. So this is the one alarm that we have configured. And what it is saying, now we are not putting any load. So if we are going to click on, it is just going to tell us how much CPU usage is there. So let us put the load now there. And it will take time because for 5 minutes continuously the load should be there. So in our case, I will go to the EC2 instance. Let me go to the EC2 instance. And we are going to connect to this instance, EC2 instance connect. And please, we have to use which user? EC2 user is the default user, EC2. Again, in real time life, automatically load will be there. Now what we have to do? We have to run this command. So let me run this command, and then again I'm going to explain this command, although we have already explained this. So please, one way of running this command is you can use the command sudo -i. It will log in as a root user. Then you have to just run the command stress. But since I was running this command as a EC2 user, so you have to use the keyword sudo. Sudo mean do the work as a super user. Now we are saying stress, please put a load of 1 CPU and for continuously 30 minutes. Now what is going to happen? Now it will generate the load. So let me show also. I will open another terminal again because it is going to take time. Again, I am going to specify. That means I am opening two terminals. One is this terminal where I have run this command, but now this is not available. Although you can use the ampersand symbol to run it in the background. Now there is one command called top in Linux. There you can check how much load is there. So now it is showing that much load is there. This type of load is there. So I'm just going to cancel it. But this is just for checking. That means this is Linux command. But we want to use that CloudWatch. So we will go to that CloudWatch and we will see what is going to happen. We will refresh. Now, still it is at here it is showing at 14%. Quickly it will reach to 25%. And in 25%, when it is for consecutive 5 minute, it is going to be more than 25%. Then what we are going to do? We will get one email. So let us check whether we have received any email or not. But since it has not exceeded, we have to wait for 5 minutes. Then only it is going to exceed. Then we will come back. So let me again go to there. So let us again refresh. Now slowly and slowly, now it has 20%. And please remember the top command that is using, it should have shown, because two CPUs are there, it should have shown the users less than around about 50%. But it is just taking into consideration only one CPU. So accordingly that it is showing the load 80 to 95%. That means that top command is not actually giving you the correct results. So when we are using this CloudWatch type of service, they are very perfect services. So they give you the exact. So that is why we are using that this type of service. So again, let me wait for. So let me again explain the thing. Then after 5 minutes, we will come back to this menu and we will see whether the load has exceeded or not, and we have received that message or not. So now it has touched 25% approximately. Then it will wait for 5 minutes. Then it is going to send you one email. So what we did actually, so what is the basic purpose of CloudWatch? The purpose of CloudWatch is keeping tab on all your resources, because this is very necessary. And AWS sometimes use these type of things for billing you also, because sometimes when we use certain things, this storage, this much storage, or the certain services, they depend upon how much you have written, that type of thing. So according to they find out how much usage is there. According to that, they charge you the money. And most of the time when you are auto scaling the things or using load balancing type of things, we need certain information. So that is the purpose of CloudWatch. So whenever you are designing the complex application, uh, you are always going to use this CloudWatch service. And regarding SNS, again I am explaining that mean whenever you are using IoT, this is one major part. Uh, mean although locally you use some other service, but SNS mean these type of service you use simple notification, in which that publish and subscriber mechanism is there. Publish mean you are going to publish the information. Everybody is comfortable with IoT. In that we always use this pub and subscribe mechanism, because this is much more efficient mechanism. So decoupled application, they always use this type of concept. So in which we publish the information, and whoever is interested, they can subscribe to that. In our case, what we did, we subscribed through the email, and then whatever we configured, we are going to receive that, you can say, the mail. Then after we are going to get the mail, what we are going to do, in our case, we will delete all the resources that we have done. So let us again check what is the now the status. So let me click there. So now it is, the load is approximately this 41% it is showing. So we have to wait for that mail. Now that means 5 minutes have, now look at this alarm. It is showing that you are receiving this mail because your Amazon CloudWatch mean full information has entered the alarm state because threshold cross 25% we have specified, and it is specifying the time also, Friday to February 24. This was the time, and you can view this alarm, that type of thing, and detail about that. And if you have configured SMS, you are going to get the information. So that means for managing, because an admin cannot 24-hour can check with top command or can log into the console and check the services. We need certain services which are going to give you this type of information. Please remember that. So in this case, it is showing us the alarm. So let me close this. I will go there. So again, I'm coming back. So that was it. So in our case, let us, I do not need now. So one by one, again, we are going to delete that service, delete the topic. Alarm, we are going to delete. Then I will close this. I will come back to SNS service. So topic, what we are going to do. Again, when we do not need, what we are going to do, we will delete this. So let me type this, delete me. So we are going to close this, going to close this also. So still, because lot of time is left, so let me discuss one small thing which might be useful for you, because in our case we have already completed this topic. That mean CloudWatch is going to view the mean keep a tab on your resource user. Alarm will send information to the topic, and whatever we have subscribed, that will be sent to you. Now let me explain a little bit, two or three things. Now, in this case, please carefully look certain things. So in this case, what it is showing? It is showing me this address: 54, 140, 169, 171, 52. It is real address. But if I am going to again delete this instance and again run this install, or some time if something happens to the server, if it is going to restart, what will happen? It will be given one new address. That means if I publish this address to the clients, what will happen? First, I have to give this address, then I have to give the address, the new address to the clients. So the recommended practice is using this, you can say, public DNS. But sometimes what we want to give it some mean one static, always one real address which should be static. So always what you can do, there is one service called, let me check if that elastic IP is there. So I'm going to check if that is there. Networking. It is not showing that information. Security images. Sometimes the menus get. So let me go to that elastic IP. And in your case, please do not try to create this elastic IP, because this is going to incur certain cost. So in our case, what we want, allocate elastic IP address setting, imagine pool of IP addresses where I want this address. So what I'm going to do, allocate. Now what it has done, it has created one address for me, and this is always going to be fixed for. In real life, when we create the server, if we have to get real IP address, it is lot of effort. But here quickly we can get this address, and then what we can do, associate this IP address with the instance. In my case, this is the instance, and what I'm going to use, associate. So now what I can do, I can always assess. That means now I can publish this address to all the people. Now whether my server is restarting or that is happening, now what will happen? Always I'm going to get this type of addresses. And please remember, if I have allocated elastic IP addresses, and if I have used this address, then no charges will be there. But if I have just allocated the address and I have not attached this address with any resources, then they are going to charge, because they want that you are not misusing those IP addresses, real IP, because they cost you certain money. And if you do not need this, what you can do, you can disassociate. Now suppose if I have disassociated, now the charges will start applying. So always, then what you can do, release this elastic IP address. So this is, so in my case, I wish I'm done with the topic. So any question, that type of thing, the session got completed very quickly. Now, when we are talking about AWS, please remember lot of services are there, and in our case, one service which lot of people uses, this is Internet of Things. This might be interesting to you. So let me a little bit explain about this. So I'm clicking on this. So when we are going to click on this IoT service, so let me click IoT. Now in IoT, lot of services are there. So let me go into the IoT core. So in AWS, what is happening? A lot of companies, they are using AWS IoT. This AWS IoT, what it is doing, it you can connect to millions of devices with the AWS IoT. Certain big companies, energy companies, what they are doing, they are using this type of you can say their IoT service. And when we talk about this AWS IoT, they have got certain other services like core is for connecting your devices. Then we have got one service is there, which is IoT green grass. Now everybody knows about edge computing. So AWS has got one service which is available, which is the name of which is IoT green grass. In IoT green grass, what they do, they give you the software, and that software is open source. What you can do, this IoT green grass, you can uh, first of all you need to understand what is edge computing, although you might be all people might be knowing what is that edge computing, but let me explain. Now suppose I want to collect the data of uh, you can say uh, about the crops of all the Punjab farmers. Suppose there are 10 lakh farmers are there. So in that case, for every village, what I want, for every farmer, I want them to send data to my IoT server. Now what will happen, all the data, suppose millions of farmers are there, they are going to send the data through the server, which is not very efficient. So what we want, we will identify that, mean there are suppose 5,000 villages are there. So what I will do, in each village I will purchase one Raspberry Pi, which hardly cost 5 to 6,000 rupees. And in Raspberry Pi, what I am going to do, I'm going to this free software, edge computing software is available from the this AWIoT. So what I will do, on that Raspberry Pi, I will install this IoT green grass. Now what will happen, now those all devices, suppose there is some village, ABC village is there, where 1,000 farmers are there. So all the farmers data, it will go to that Raspberry Pi, and that Raspberry Pi will process the data locally. Then that is called edge device. Then that data will be sent to the servers. So AWS has got lot of services are available in their AWS IoT stack, in which IoT core is there for collecting all the data. Then for your you can say edge computing, they have got very perfect software available, IoT green grass, and lot of big companies they are using this IoT green grass for that purpose. And the beauty of this is that once you have collected data through AWS IoT, what you can do, you can send the data to NoSQL databases also. Certain data analytic services are there. Let me show you that also. Some data analytic services are there, like Kynance's service is there, which is for processing real-time data. That means whatever data we have captured in through the AWS IoT, what we can do, we can process through this Kynance's, and whatever the results are there, those results they can be saved on what you can say on that you can say on S3 buckets. So that means in AWS you have got combination of IoT for managing IoT devices, and then if you want to use edge computing, IoT grass is there. Now whatever data is collected, what you will do, you will use this Kinesis service to process it. And for storing the data, then what you have got, you have got that S3 buckets are available. And S3 buckets also, what we can do, we can put the life cycle policies there, in which what it is going to do, if the data is 3 month old, 6 month old, according to it will go on shifting that data to those storage which are less costly, that type of things. Then we have got other services available. Let me show you. This is one very good service which is available and which is getting very popular. I'm just going to discuss this service. Workplaces. Now, what happens, like in my laptop, I'm still using Windows 10. Now sometimes if I'm going to go to my office, there I have got a Windows 11 is there, one old laptop is there, still Windows 7 is there. That means whenever I'm going somewhere, my that desktop is getting changed. And in every laptop and desktop, what will happen, the thing different things are available. Now I do not want, I always want, that mean if I am going to different 100 devices, if I'm wasting knitter or participants college, I always want that same desktop should be available to me. So for that, what they have done, AWS people, they have launched one workplace workspaces service, in which what you are going to get, you are going to get Windows 10 or 11. That means they will provide, like I think yesterday we launched one Windows server, 2016 server, but that is for server purpose. If you have to work, we need Windows 10 or Windows 11. So I want that whenever I visit any college or any system, that desktop should be available to me, save, and whatever data I'm going to save, that should always will be available to me. So for that, they have launched this workspaces, you can say service, uh, which is you can say desktop as a service cloud. Like certain company now, what they have done, they have started giving, they have they give their own, I think Dell is one such company, in which the employees, what they get the that desktop from the company, not their desktop. That means whenever they have to uh, 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 work on Windows 10 or 11, the Windows 10 or 11 they are getting through the networking. So you can always say that EC2 is for servers. This workspace service, they have desktop as a service. That means Windows 10, Windows 11, you are going to get on your desktop. And AWS people, what they have come up with one hardware also. That means you do not need to purchase these type of laptop. That devices, I do not know how much cost, I think 10 to 12,000 the cost of new device. So when we are going to enable that device, on that device, that AWS work, the desktop will be there. Like earlier we used to have thin clients, that type of thing they are implementing. So this is also one very good service, certain companies they have started using. Then last thing, let me explain, then we will conclude the session. So let me, then we have got certain services available, uh, this machine learning services are there. Then we have got a lot of other services are there. Let me go there. Blockchain is also there. And then we have got another services there, which is container. So let me for 5 to 5 minutes explain this service, then will conclude the session. Now please remember, in earlier days what we used to have a physical desktop or laptop. Now please remember, in these day companies, they do not give you the physical. That means for one person they are not going to give you dedicated, you can say this server or computer. Now from the last 6 to 7 years, they are going to give you virtual machine. That mean, like in my case, I have got one software is available. uh, uh, Let me show you, this VMware workstation is there. So normally what I do, whenever I have to do any experiment, I use this VMware, in which certain softwares are there, lot of machines are there, like this machine is there, this machine is there. That mean, from physical to what we did, we moved to these virtual machines. But now the problem with this virtual machine is that, if I'm going to show you this virtual machine, it is using 2 GB memory, one processor, hard disk 40 GB. In my case, my laptop is having 16 GB of RAM. That means at the most I can run 8 machine. Now these days there is one more efficient technology is coming up, which is hardly required memory, not 2 GB, hardly with 16 MB RAM it can work. And Here for this machine, I'm using 40 GB of hard disk, and that new technology hardly we need 100 KB of storage. Even sometimes we can use for that technology less than 1 KB, and that technology's name is your you can say container. So earlier it was physical machine, then we have got virtual machine, but now these days 50% of time whenever you will be going to the industry, neither you are going to use physical dedicated physical laptop or desktop, neither those virtual machine. Most probably what you are going to get, you are going to get container, and that container is 100 times more efficient your virtualization and that type of technology. So this is the next big thing that is happening. So AWS people already they have got these services available. Container service is available, Kubernetes service is available. This container service is for managing the container on one system, but if you have got 1000 system, then they have got this Kubernetes services is there. That means AWS people they are moving with the whatever new technologies are coming, they are also moving with those technologies, containers, and then we have got Kubernetes service. uh, these are, and one another service is also available which is called container as a service, Red Hat OpenShift. These all technologies are you can say container based technology, and slowly and slowly, according to Gartner's report, in next 2 to 3 years, 50% of all IT will be running on these type of technologies, containers and your Kubernetes type of things. And for that, Docker is the word. That means whenever we have to create the container, Docker is the keyword. And if you have to manage millions of containers, then Kubernetes is the service. That means AWS, whatever new technology is coming, they are launching those services uh, simultaneously. So with that, ma'am, I will take the questions. I think any question, if you are having, please ask me any of the sessions.